We commit to send tomorrow everyone in this room a copy of the book.
Madam Chair, hindi ko maintindihan yung ugali ng ating resource person. It is a simple question. Paulit-ulit na this is politicizing. Ang VP ang nagbanggit ng salitang boboto. Wala akong sinabing boboto. I'm simply asking, hindi ko ma-imagine we're making so much trouble, so much fuss about a 10 million peso item na itinatanong ko lang simpleng, what is the book about? At ilang kopya ang bibilihin ng gobyerno sa halagang 10 milyong piso at i-distribute. I don't appreciate this kind of attitude, Madam Chair. Usually, ang resource persons natin ay nagbibigay ng parehong institutional courtesy sa legislature na ibinibigay natin sa executive. I don't appreciate this kind of attitude. Magandang hapon po sa lahat, mga kasama ko sa Senado at yung OVP family. Dalawang tanong lang po, Chair, para ngayong araw. Una po, I note that a huge chunk of the OVP's 2025 operations budget, 1.909 billion pesos, will be used for the delivery of socio-economic programs, such as one medical and burial assistance program. This supplements other healthcare programs of the government to assist indigent individuals and families. For 2025, 771.445 million will be allocated for the program. Sa loob niyan, 600 million pesos for medical assistance and 171.445 million for burial assistance, which are, Madam Chair, very similar to the medical assistance to indigent or financially incapacitated patients program o MAIF-IP of the DOH. And DSWDs, Assistance for Individuals in Crisis Situations, or AICS. Pangalawa, disaster operations, which aims to provide relief goods to disaster-stricken areas not commonly reached by other agencies. Para doon, 101.644 million pesos. And is also similar doon naman sa disaster risk management program of the DSWD. Third, relief for individuals in crisis and emergencies, or providing food boxes or food items to families who are ineligible for OVP's other services. So 50 million pesos, which is also similar to DSWD's AICS. And last, Magnegosyo Taday, livelihood assistance for those with entrepreneurial skills, 150 million pesos, which is also similar to DOLE's naman, Integrated Livelihood Program o DLIP. So, ang tanong ko po dito, Madam Chair, anong nag-lead sa OVP na mag-consider na i-launch yung ganitong programs? May ginawa bang studies para suportahan yung pagkakaroon ng ganitong programs na parallel naman sa katulad at existing programs ng iba't iba nating line agencies, Madam Chair?
Yes, Madam Chair. Thank you. Noong ako po ay nangampanya, 3 lang po yung sinabi ko na plataforma. Una po, trabaho. Pangalawa po, edukasyon. At 3, mapayapang pamumuhay para sa ating mga mamamayan. Nung pumasok po kami sa Office of the Vice President, tiningnan po namin ang mga pinakamaraming requests ng ating mga kababayan. Una-una po, ang lagi po naming natatanggap na request ay medical and burial assistance. Pangalawa po ay financial assistance. Pangatlo, lagi silang humihingi ng tulong sa pagkain. At pang-apat, very recently, sa tali ng mga requests, no? Yes, sa tali ng mga requests is yung educational assistance na sinasabi ng mga kababayan natin. Sinasabi namin lagi sa kanila, libre naman yung public schools. Ngayon ay libre na rin yung higher educational institutions. Pero sinasabi nila nahihirapan kasi sila sa plete, nahihirapan sila sa pabaon ng mga bata at sa pagkain ng mga bata. Kaya meron kaming bago, ito yung educational assistance. At ang panghuli naman, lagi naming natatanggap na request galing sa ating mga kababayan ay kapag sila ay naging biktima ng disaster whether man-made or natural disasters. So sila po ay lumalapit sa Office of the Vice President. Totoo po, merong mga ibang local government units at ibang national government agencies na ganito po ang kanilang programa. Pero po, nung ako ay umupo as a Vice President, I took an oath, and doon sa oath, I said that I will do justice to every man. So hindi po kami pwedeng humindi sa mga tao na humihingi ng tulong, lalong-lalo na ay kaparte ng gobyerno ang Office of the Vice President.
Salamat, VP, Madam Chair. Sabi nga ng VP, Madam Chair, libre na yung public school, libre na rin yung higher education, bagamat ni-note nila na sinasabi ng mga nagre-request na nahihirapan pa rin sila sa ilang mga programs na nakalodge sa ilalim ng libreng edukasyon na iyan. Kaya nga kinonsider nilang mag-launch ng ganitong mga katulad na programs. Iko-consider ba ng VP na i-lodge na lang yung mga budgets nitong mga programa dun na lang sa mga line agencies natin? Tapos mag-request na lang ang OVP ng allocation para in sync sa priorities ng executive department sa halip na magkaroon pa ng hiwalay pero magkatulad naman na programa, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, we only submit the budget and we leave it to the discretion of all the members of Congress to decide on the budget. We can only propose a budget for the Office of the Vice President. Pero magbibigay po ako ng halimbawa kung ganun po ang gagawin natin. Tulad po ng AIX ng DSWD. Kapag meron po kaming nire-refer o binibigyan ng endorsement ng AIX sa DSWD, kadalasan po nasagot sa amin ay hindi pwede dahil galing yan sa Office of the Vice President at kalaban yan. Minsan po, totoo yan na pupolitika ang assistance para sa ating mga kababayan. Kaya po, uulitin ko, ang mga tao naman kasi hindi sila tumitingin sa politika. Tumitingin lang sila na itong opisina na ito ay opisina ng gobyerno at pwede kaming humingi ng tulong doon. And so I go back to the oath that I shall do justice to every man, at kaya po kami nandito at kaya po kami merong mga ganito na mga projects sa Office of the Vice President.
Salamat VP, Madam Chair. Wini-welcome ko yung sinabi nila na the VP would leave it to the discretion of the members of Congress. Medyo nagitla ako nung sinabing minsan pag may nire-refer ang OVP para sa AIX, ang feedback ay kalaban niyan. Dahil Madam Chair, I believe tayo sa Kongreso when we appropriate the budget, merong implicit na assumption tayo doon na pagkatapos in the exercise of our oversight function, yung parehong level ng professionalism we demand of ourselves ay presumption of regularity ina-expect natin sa lahat ng members ng executive, lalo na when they are working together. Kaya gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, wini-welcome ko yung sinabi ni VP na they would leave it to the discretion of the members of Congress, and tayo naman ay hindi tayo bibitaw sa mahigpit nating pag-ensure na these programs be implemented by the appropriate agencies o kahit in collaboration with each other na naaayon talaga sa tamang standards above partisan politics. And therefore, at the proper time, Madam Chair, gagawa ako ng proper motion para i-lodge yung budgets ng mga programang ito sa line agencies na may klarong opportunity for OVP na mag-request for allocation as for other offices in the executive. Yung huling tanong ko sa ngayon, Madam Chair, for 2025, one of the OVP's programs, Pagbabago Campaign, 1 Million Learners Entries, involves the provision of bags to 1 million learners in remote communities while initiating tree planting activities. This gets an appropriation of 100 million pesos. part of this campaign is an allocation of 10 million pesos for the distribution of Isang Kaibigan books, a children's book authored by the VP. Pwede po bang sabihin ni VP sa atin kung sa librong ito?
Chair, let me make a rebuttal and another example of politicizing the budget of the government. Ito pong sinabi ni Senator Risa Ontiveros na at the proper time she'll make a motion to lodge the requested budget of the OVP to the other agencies. Let me just quote Senator Risa during the Akbayan Congress. Alam ko po na ang daming kalat ni Duterte na hirap tayong linisin. Ang kadiliman noong panahon niya ay talaga namang nanuot sa ating lipunan para mansa na napakahirap tanggalin. At habang ang anak niya ay may kapangyarihan pa, hindi magiging madali ang ating laban. While VP Sara is in power, the threat of a full-blown Duterte comeback is still a very real and present danger. For one, they are supported by one major superpower, China. So that is an example of politicizing the budget of the government. May we request, Madam Chair, that Senator Risa Ontiveros repeat the last question.
I will certainly, if you request, Madam Chair, repeat my question dahil walang kinalaman sa kasasabi lang ng VP ngayon. Alam nating lahat na miyembro ng iba't ibang partido, yung speeches natin sa ating mga kamiyembro sa mga party congresses ay hiwalay na event dito sa budget debates. So I really take exception dun sa sinabi ni VP na rebuttal iyan dahil halimbawa ito sa politicizing. In fact, wala akong tinanong tungkol sa China o kahit sino pa mang ibang bansa dito sa budget hearing na to. I am asking about yung national budget na ipapasa natin sa Kongreso para sa bansang Pilipinas sa taong 2025. At ang pangalawang at huling tanong ko sa ngayon, before I make at the proper time propose an amendment which may or may not be accepted by the chair and by the colleagues para nga mas i-align ang mga kaperahan natin lalo na't masikip ang fiscal space natin dun sa mga appropriate programs sa appropriate agencies na malayang-malaya ang OVP makipag-partner sa kanila tulad ng sino pang opisina sa executive. Ang tanong ko po ay ilang mga libro ng Isang Kaibigan ay bibilihin at i-distribute at ano, if the VP could tell us more about the contents ng librong ito. Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, the book is not for sale. We only pay for the publication of the book. And we will send Senator Ontiveros a copy so that she will know what is the content of the book.
Oh, this question is not only for me, Madam Chair, para rin para sa mga kasama dito sa budget hearing. Baka ilang araw pa bago mapadala at mabasa ko, which I certainly will. But I am asking a question bilang isang mambabatas sa head of agency ng isang opisina sa executive dito sa budget hearing na to. Simpleng tanong. Tell us more about the book, Isang Kaibigan, at ilang kopya nito ang bibilihin ng gobyerno sa halagang 10 milyong piso at i-distribute sa kasama ng mga bags sa 1 million learners sa remote communities, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, this is an example of politicizing the budget hearing through the questions of a senator. Ang problema niya kasi, nakalagay yung pangalan ko doon sa libro. At yung libro na yan, ibibigay namin doon sa mga bata. At yung mga bata na yan, may mga magulang na boboto. At yung pangalan ko ay nagkalat doon sa kung saan man ibibigay yung libro. Madam Chair, we commit to send tomorrow everyone in this room a copy of the book.
Madam Chair, hindi ko maintindihan yung ugali ng ating resource person. It is a simple question. Paulit-ulit na this is politicizing. Ang VP ang nagbanggit ng salitang boboto. Wala akong sinabing boboto. I'm simply asking, hindi ko ma-imagine we're making so much trouble, so much fuss about a 10 million peso item na itinatanong ko lang simpleng, what is the book about? At ilang kopya ang bibilihin ng gobyerno sa halagang 10 milyong piso at i-distribute. I don't appreciate this kind of attitude, Madam Chair. Usually, ang resource persons natin ay nagbibigay ng parehong institutional courtesy sa legislature na ibinibigay natin sa executive. I don't appreciate this kind of attitude.
Tolentino, do you have Madam Chair?
Madam Chair. Yes, Madam Chair. Hindi ko rin maintindihan ang ugali ni Senator Risa Ontiveros, and I do not appreciate, ano yung sinabi niya? I do not appreciate this kind of behavior and attitude. Madam Chair, noong 2016, tumatakbo si Senator Risa Ontiveros na senator, nakailang talo na siya. So,
Dalawa, Madam Chair.
okay, dalawa. Natatakot siya sa pangatlong talo niya, kaya pumunta siya sa Davao. Humingi siya ng tulong. Tinulungan siya ng isang kagawad ng Davao na ngayon hindi na siya sinusuportahan. Humingi siya ng tulong sa akin, thinking na hindi mananalo si President Rodrigo Duterte. Kinausap niya ako ng kinausap doon sa law office ko sa Davao City. Sabi ko sa kanya, o sige, tutulungan kita. Chinika niya ako ng chinika. Tapos umalis siya. Siyempre, hindi naman siya tumutulong kay Pangulong Duterte. Hindi din totoo yung sinabi ko na tutulungan kita. Tinext niya ako. Pwede ba akong mag-follow up sa hinihingi kong tulong sa boto dyan sa Davao City? So sabi ko sa kanya, okay, sige. So, tinawagan ko at sinabihan ko at pinakiusapan ko ng pinakiusapan si former Congressman Milen Garcia. Sabi ko sa kanya, Kong, tulungan mo ito. Bigyan mo na lang ng ilang barangay mo at ilang mga leaders mo. Ayaw pa siya tulungan ni former Congressman Milen Garcia. Pinakiusapan ko ulit, Kong, please tulungan mo na lang. Nanalo na siya at nung nanalo siya, anong ginawa niya? Siya ang pinakaunang umatake kay President Rodrigo Duterte. Anong tawag sa ugaling ganito?
With due respect to our resource persons and also our colleagues, I think this doesn't really. I understand there's history among all of us here, but I think that we should really stick to the budget. And I think this is just being very objective. I would like to ask also, since we're going to be furnished a copy tomorrow, we can look at it and evaluate what the content of the book is. But maybe just a general, we won't ask line by line, ano ba yung libro na yan? But tell me, is it for good manners and right conduct? That's fine. Is it science? Is it history? So maybe just a general one, so we can just answer it. Because I understand that every office will have its own advocacy and initiative. So, but then, I don't think it's also wrong for us to be curious what it is about. So just a general one. Any of the undersecretaries can tell me what the topic of the book is? Is it history? What is it?
Madam Chair, the explanation is in the title, Isang Kaibigan. It's about friendship.
Okay. Then that's for the record. It's about friendship.
Madam Chair, just the last point.
Okay.
So kung sana ganun yung naging sagot sa simula pa, 'di ba? Napakasimple. Simpleng tanong, dapat simpleng sagot. Nagkwento pa ng kwento na sinabi dati na walang kinalaman sa tanong ko. Just for the record, as a last point, Madam Chair, this is public funds and we're making inquiries about them. Budget hearing po ito. Hindi po lahat about you. Pera po ito ng taong bayan.
Okay.
For the record,
I
Madam
think
Chair.
that
Thank
it's
you,
not yet
Madam Chair.
personal, but
Yes.
I understand the emotion is high. But let's continue on. If you have any more questions, Senator Risa, we will
Those
have
are just
around-
my 2 questions, Madam Chair. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Senator Tolentino, you had your hand raised earlier.
I was about to ask for a minute suspension of the hearing, but since the good chairperson of this committee already gave her guidance on how this budget hearing should proceed. I defer to the wisdom of the chairperson.
Thank you. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Bong Revilla and Senator Robin Hood Padilla. Thank you. Anybody else? Senator Mark Villar as well. And Senator Alan and Senator Alan Cayetano. Any more questions?
Yes.
Senator Amy Marcos, you're recognized.
Yes, samantalang nasimulan na ang pagtatanong tungkol sa budget, nais kong bigyan ng pagkakataon ng pangalawang Pangulo na sumagot sa mga pumupuna sa kanya at laging binabanggit ang mga COA report ng 2022-2023 na mababa daw ang implementasyon at kulang daw ang internal controls at guidelines. May masasabi po ba tayo tungkol dito? May kasagutan po ba ito?
Madam Chair, yes, we call on Attorney Rosalyn Sanchez to answer the question.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. On the first question on the low implementation of some of the programs, Your Honor, some of the programs were just started to be implemented by the office in 2023. So we are still in the process of fine-tuning the details of the program and obtaining the requirements from the applicants of the programs. Specifically on the Magnegosyo Taday project, we have seen that some of our target beneficiaries have difficulty in complying with the requirements, and we are closely working with the Commission on Audit to streamline the process for the application of the program. And on the controls, on the matter of controls, Madam Chair, we would like to know that we have not received, we would like to know that audit findings are still not yet final, and we are again working closely with COA to improve our processes and address the issues that they have raised during the audit, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, I am Attorney Lopez, the Chief of Staff of the Office of the Vice President. As regards the first question on the matter of the low implementation rate of the Office of the Vice President, for the past 2 years, Your Honor, for year 2022 and 2023, as we have presented early on, the Office of the Vice President has a 92% utilization rate actually, but it is as of date, as of now, as of June, July, the rate is stands at 40%, primarily because most of our programs are rolled out towards the second semester. Particularly, for example, the Pagbabago Bag in time for the opening of the school year, and also the launch of our Pansarap program, which we will also be launching upon school opening. So this is a big bulk of the budget of the Office of the Vice President. Hence, there is a low utilization rate. But at the end of the year, all of this, Madam Chair, as we have, as records will bear out, it will be around the 90 to 92% utilization rate.
Yes, congratulations. So that therefore, those who say that the same observations have been made by COA for the past 2 years are inaccurate and unaware of the actions already taken by the OVP. Is that correct?
Ma'am, the matter of the low, it is correct as regards the matter of the first semester, because we really do have a low utilization rate for even for the past years as regards the first semester. But
The
towards
repeated
the
observation from COA is regards to the inadequate guidelines, processes, and the lack of internal control. Yun ang naulit ng 2 taon. Na isaayos na ba yan? Kasi
Opo.
nabanggit ni attorney na kausap na ninyo yung COA at ginagawa na ng guidelines na sapat.
That is correct, Your Honor. We are working continuously with the team from the Commission on Audit to improve and streamline our processes and guidelines.
Nakakatuwa yung budget ninyo, nautangan pa kayo ng CHED. Nabayaran na ba kayo ng 18 million na utang?
Your Honor, if I may answer the question. Okay, Your Honor, there it was partial liquidation by CHED from the time that we had our budget hearing last year unto this year, but there is still a remaining amount of 1,993,500 pesos, Your Honor, out of the original 18 million.
Hindi kayo nag-iisa. Ang CHED may utang din sa mga senador. Kaya't yun ang nakakatuwa sa CHED kung saan-saan napupunta yung pera. At wala na po akong tanong. Ang sasabihin ko lang, talagang hindi naman sa barangay lamang napupolitika yung ayuda, pati dito sa mga senador, pati sa ating pangalawang Pangulo.
Senator Alan Cayetano is now recognized.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Madam Vice President, magandang hapon po, and welcome to the Senate. Magandang tanghali. I'd like to note that this committee is ruled by the women and kaming mga men ay nasa sidelines lang. I'd also like to note that although as a senator, naintindihan ko si Senator Risa na siyempre mas gusto kong cordial yung sagutan. But we also have to take into context that this is both legislative and political. And there are attacks against the Vice President regardless saan nanggagaling. So a little bit of latitude dahil we want kakampi man o kalaban to feel welcome. But I agree with Senator Risa naman na, you know, how do we make it more cordial, no? So Madam Vice President, may I ask just one question? Actually two eh. One, nag-lunch na po ba kayo? And
Yes, Senator Cayetano, nag-lunch na po ako. And I'm very cordial
yes,
when it
ma'am.
comes to international diplomatic relations. Gusto nyo i-discuss natin
No,
yung West Philippine Sea.
yes.
But hindi kasi ako plastic na tao.
No, I agree with you, ma'am. That's why nga sinasabi ko po na hindi lang to legislative, political din. That's why you should be given the latitude to answer in the way that you feel it could be properly answered, di ba? So kaya ko lang tinanong kung nag-lunch kayo kasi in the first 2 years, I know that you got a very warm welcome sa Senate. So I'm hoping sa budget hearing it doesn't change, no? I remember ang daming pumunta sa lunch noon. So my question lang, ma'am, is what can we do for the Office of the Vice President? Meron bang ni-request sa DBM na wala sa budget niyo so that we can consider it at the proper time?
No, we are already okay with the approved budget from the Department of Budget. The approved proposed budget in the NEP from the Department of Budget and Management. And we leave it up to members of Congress to decide on the budget. Thank you.